Hello MotoGP fans, welcome back to ZNGP Today. After years of struggling behind European manufacturers, could Yamaha be making a comeback? According to reigning MotoGP champion Francesco Bagnaia, the Japanese factory may be the biggest threat to Ducati this season. Following a strong showing at the Sepang test, Bagnaia believes there will be a shift in the competitive order of MotoGP. Marc Marquez has described Ducati's current dilemma as a good problem, as the factory team debates whether to continue with the dominant GP24 package or commit to the evolving GP25. With a 2-year engine freeze looming, the decision is critical, especially given the GP24's record-breaking 19 wins last season. Yamaha's Fabio Quartararo has hailed the progress of the YZR-M1 after setting his fastest-ever lap at Sepang during MotoGP testing. The 2021 world champion was the only non-Ducati rider to break into the 1:56s, ending the test third overall. With Yamaha struggling in qualifying throughout 2024, Quartararo sees this as a major step forward heading into the new season. The fallout from Jorge Martin's terrifying crash at the Sepang test has taken another turn, as Aprilia and Michelin are now at odds over the cause of the incident. Michelin's Piero Terramasso suggested a drop in rear tire temperature played a key role, but Aprilia CEO Massimo Rivola has strongly refuted that claim, calling for a meeting with all teams to address what he describes as a critical situation. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Yamaha has endured 2 difficult seasons, falling behind Ducati, Aprilia, and KTM. However, after an extensive pre-season testing program, including additional days thanks to its concession status, Yamaha showed significant progress at Sepang. Fabio Quartararo was the only non-Ducati rider to break into the 1:56s on the final day, catching the attention of Bagnaia, who believes this could indicate a shift in MotoGP's pecking order. Despite the extra track time, Bagnaia acknowledged Quartararo's strong pace across all 3 days, especially in time attack mode, an area where Yamaha struggled in 2024. I think that we will have a switch in terms of who will be behind Ducati during this season. I think Yamaha did a very good job, but we have to wait for Thailand because they did 6 days of testing, so maybe some performance also comes from this. Fabio had fantastic pace on all 3 days, and the time attack, which was a weak point last year, was fast today. So, I think they did a very good job. Quote from Bagnaia. While Bagnaia recognizes Yamaha's improvements, he admitted he wasn't able to fully push himself during the Sepang test. His testing program focused more on data gathering than outright lap times, limiting his opportunities for a proper time attack. Despite this, Bagnaia was encouraged by the progress made in evaluating Ducati's development parts, especially ahead of the Thailand test. From my personal perspective, this test I didn't have the chance to really push like I wanted. I only did 1 time attack, and it was difficult to explode like I normally do. Apart from that, I'm happy that all the work we did was useful to understand where to improve and which base to use in Thailand. Another key talking point from the Sepang test was Marc Marquez's performance on the GP24, which remains in contention for Ducati's 2025 and 2026 homologation decision. The Gresini rider topped the timesheets on the final day, raising questions about whether the factory squad should reconsider its engine direction. However, Bagnaia dismissed concerns, emphasizing that factory riders have different testing priorities. Bagnaia also noted that while he and Marc Marquez had strong sprint simulations, they ran different configurations to maximize data collection. For me, no, because when you have to try many things, a bit of the performance goes away. It's normal. We used 2 different ways during the day, and I tried the chassis more than Marc did. I liked it, but it has good and bad points, so I want to try it in Thailand in lower grip conditions. With Yamaha making strides and Ducati still evaluating its engine choice, the 2025 MotoGP season is shaping up to be unpredictable. Will Yamaha emerge as Ducati's closest challenger, or will Aprilia and KTM strike back? The upcoming Thailand test could provide more answers as the teams fine-tune their packages before the season opener. The Ducati factory squad has been working relentlessly at the Sepang test, comparing the GP24 with the GP25 ahead of the crucial homologation deadline. Marquez finished the test 5th overall, while his brother Alex Marquez, riding the GP24, topped the timesheets on the final day, highlighting the challenge Ducati faces in deciding whether to push forward with the GP25 or stick with what is already a proven title-winning machine. Marquez, who completed an impressive sprint simulation on Friday, remained tight-lipped about which bike he was using. Ducati's engineers now face a critical choice: gamble on the potential of the GP25 or play it safe with a package they already know can win races. Was a mix. Was with the aero of 2024, the rest you cannot see. So, for that reason I say only the aero. The good problem of Ducati is we start from a base that won 19 races from 20. This is something difficult to improve, and that's why you have to be sure it's better, because you know with the 2024 you can fight for the championship 100%. Quote from Marquez. With only 2 more days of testing before the season kicks off, Marquez emphasized that Ducati's development process isn't just about the engine, it's about fine-tuning every aspect of the package. One major challenge has been the unrealistically high grip levels at Sepang, which make it harder to identify areas for improvement. Despite this, Marquez feels confident in the direction Ducati is heading but stressed that the team must be very sure before making any final decisions. With Alex Marquez setting the fastest lap of the test, speculation is already mounting about whether he could be a title contender in 2025. However, Marc was quick to downplay expectations. While Marc focused on his own intense testing program, he acknowledged that Ducati must make absolutely sure before committing to the GP25. Too early for him. I would never put pressure on my brother. He is enjoying now. He has a very good feeling. The pressure is for the official riders. In the official team, you must fight for the championship. The good problem of Ducati is that you start from a very good base, so to improve that base you have to be very sure it's better. So, for that reason we tried and retried. With just weeks to go before the 2025 MotoGP season begins, Ducati remains in a difficult position. Will they trust the dominant GP24 or take a leap of faith with the GP25? With a 2-year freeze on engine development looming, this decision could define their title chances not just for this season, but for 2026 as well. The countdown to the season opener in Thailand continues. It was a standout performance from Fabio Quartararo in Malaysia as the Frenchman dipped below the 1:57 mark for the first time at Sepang. His final day lap of 1 minute and 56.9 seconds was over 0.8 faster than his 2024 qualifying time at the same circuit, a clear sign of improvement for Yamaha. Quartararo reflected on the step forward, comparing Yamaha's progress to previous years. While Quartararo was pleased with his single-lap pace, he remained cautious, reminding that testing results don't always translate directly to race performance. From 2019 to 2024, we improved 0.6 seconds. From 2024 to 2025, 0.8 seconds. Of course, we can be happy. We need to stay calm. It's only a test, but I think it's quite good. Quote from Quartararo. For context, Ducati's Francesco Bagnaia set a similar benchmark last year, meaning Yamaha appears to be much closer to the front than they were in 2024. Quartararo attributes Yamaha's gains to a mix of technical upgrades and adjustments to his riding style. The 2025 M1, while visually similar, features significant changes in electronics and handling. One of the biggest improvements has come in corner entry and direction changes, but a familiar problem remains: grip. Quartararo acknowledged that the high grip conditions in Sepang may have exaggerated Yamaha's performance gains. The real test, he says, will come when Yamaha has to perform in lower grip conditions, which have historically exposed the M1's biggest weaknesses. Since winning the 2021 title, Quartararo has seen Yamaha fall further behind, while Ducati and other manufacturers continue to make greater strides. However, this offseason, he believes Yamaha has finally caught up in development. Rather than just small improvements, Quartararo feels Yamaha has genuinely closed the gap for the first time since he joined the factory team. Every year, from 2022 to 2024, we made one step, but Ducati and the others made 2 or 3. This year, I think we have made much more steps. In the past, we just improved, but the others improved even more. Now, I think the gap is closer. Quartararo's optimism wasn't just based on one-lap speed. He also showed strong pace over longer runs, getting close to the lap times of Ducati's fastest riders, including Bagnaia and Marc Marquez. While his race simulation wasn't a full sprint test, Quartararo was encouraged by how competitive he felt across multiple laps. I think the gap is quite big, but I'm pretty happy about the lap time that we did, especially because it was not only one lap and that's it. With Yamaha showing clear improvements in both one-lap speed and race pace, Fabio Quartararo is heading into 2025 with renewed confidence. However, the big question remains, will Yamaha's progress hold up across different track conditions? The next test at Burum could provide further answers as the MotoGP grid prepares for the season opener in Qatar. Jorge Martin underwent surgery in Barcelona on Friday after sustaining multiple fractures in his right hand and left foot during his violent high-side at Sepang. Operated on by renowned MotoGP surgeon Dr. Xavier Mir, Martin's hand injury required percutaneous fixation with an intramedullary screw, while his foot fractures did not require surgery. Dr. Mir confirmed that Martin's functional recovery will begin soon, but a timeline for his return remains uncertain. The functional recovery will start in a short time period, according to the clinical status. Quote from Dr. Mir. Aprilia boss Massimo Rivola expressed relief that the surgery went well but emphasized that Martin's health remains the priority. I'm glad that Jorge's operation went well, and now we hope for a speedy recovery. His health is the priority. Quote from Rivola. While Martin begins his recovery, a war of words has erupted between Aprilia and Michelin over what caused his crash. Rivola initially stated there were no issues with the bike or Martin's riding, subtly shifting attention toward Michelin's tires. Michelin Motorsport two-wheel manager Piero Terramasso responded on Friday, presenting data suggesting that Martin's rear tire temperature was significantly lower than ideal when he left the garage for his final run. The conclusion is clear, Jorge. When he left the box for the last run before the crash, the tire temperature was 15 degrees less. So, 15 degrees is quite a lot. Quote from Terramasso. Terramasso pointed out that the crucial data comes from the McLaren sensor, which measures the inner layer temperature of the tire, not just the surface temperature. However, Rivola quickly fired back, rejecting Michelin's analysis and calling for urgent discussions on rider safety. Rivola went further, urging a meeting with all teams to address what he believes is a growing safety concern, citing the increasing number of injuries and testing. Regarding the crash, I would like to make it clear that our data in no way confirms the statements made by Piero Terramasso. I believe that the rider's safety should be the priority, and I have already suggested a meeting with all the teams in order to deal constructively with what is clearly a critical situation, as evidenced by the number of injuries. Quote from Rivola. With Aprilia and Michelin now locked in a public dispute, the cause of Jorge Martin's crash remains a hot topic in the paddock. As Martin recovers from surgery, the bigger question looms: could this incident spark wider changes in tire management and safety protocols? With teams set to meet and discussions heating up, this controversy is far from over. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. See you next time.